Great Lakes have been sailed upon since the 17th century. It's estimated 6,000 vessels have been lost, taking 30,000 lives with them. Not every wreck has been discovered. Many likely will never be. But a new one was recently found and identified. And during the process, a 93-year-old man also found something, the answer.
It's in the family history.
Closure has its own clock.
He is my dad's mother's younger brother.
For some, it's immediate.
Only his cap was found.
For others, it may take a long, long time.
My great uncle Charles Keel was on the ship that went down.
William Thomas had to age north of 90 for his closure clock to finally...
That's your great uncle's resting place.
...synchronize.
Wow, it is intact. I can see how you could identify it.
September 13th, 2018. Summer was slipping away.
I was out with my cousins on Lake Michigan.
Ross Richardson bid farewell to the season with one last trip to North Manitou Island.
I turned on the sonar to kind of show them how it worked, and within a couple minutes, we ran over an interesting small target.
His day detoured.
This was probably some type of sailing vessel.
By a chance discovery.
I knew we had to come back with a diver and verify what it was.
A week later, Ross was back.
I'm kind of a shipwreck nerd.
This time with a crew.
Whatever it was, I'd be the first one to see it.
Steve Weimer got his gear on, then traveled 300 feet beneath the surface.
I don't know if I have the words to describe what I saw.
Staring at history.
My first vision was a straight down view of the bow, with the bowsprit.
Perfectly intact, like it sank yesterday.
Just amazement.
Looks like it's sailing away on the silt.
Both masts are fully upright. The hatches are completely intact and battened down, which is very rare on a wreck. Towards the stern, the cabin is fully intact.
This rests nearby. Oars still in it.
It's very rare to find a lifeboat at a shipwreck site.
Richardson spent the winter researching.
6,000 records, and I looked through every single one of them to try to find one that would match.
He knew he'd stumbled on a previously undiscovered wreck.
There's about a dozen or so that matched, but one of them really stood out.
The schooner W.C. Kimball, which was known to have disappeared in the area.
We had a nice photograph to match with the wreck site, and that was key in the identification process.
I noticed that particular running light in the photograph.
Maritime artist Cal Cothrati,
If we can find these on the wreck, that's our smoking gun.
digitally recreated the underwater scene.
And when we found it on the video as we were ROVing it, immediately on the boat I knew that that was the Kimball.
This has been her resting place since 1891.
There's nothing to lead us to believe it's not the Kimball.
4 sailors perished,
No bodies were ever recovered.
including William Thomas's great uncle, Charles Keel.
It's a great thing to know where he is.
That thing will be perfectly preserved in 39-degree water for hopefully another 100 years.
There's much more about the W.C. Kimball to read and check out on the web version of this story. The history of the schooner, the theory of what led to its sinking, and some raw videos of both the dive and the reaction moments after the discovery. So head on over to 13onYourSide.com right now and get lost in all of the cool extra content that we have available for you on that web story. So how about that? Not only is a dive video crisp and clear, but a 93-year-old man gets closure.
It's fascinating.
Because of the discovery.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Incredible.
I can't imagine the feeling the guy had when he said, the first thing I saw as I'm going down is the bow mast. Just amazing.
Both masts are still up. The bowsprit is still out. I mean, it's like that ship sank like a feather.
Yeah, just and then came the rest.
129 years ago.
Wow.
And just sat on the bottom, and there it is.
All right. Thank you, Brent.
Sure.
Well, here's your one chance to see